Hi, Karla here. Welcome back to my channel where I like to find the fun and magic in everyday things. So I have a question for you. So how would you like to make a potent herbal extract or tincture in only 2 days rather than the normal 4 weeks or more? Well, stick with me and all will be revealed. Ta-da! Yep, you can make a tincture in only 2 days using the percolation extraction technique. Now, the overall process is similar to using a drip coffee maker, where the hot water drips through the coffee grounds to make the coffee. Well, in this case, the hot water is alcohol and the coffee grounds is the dried herb. This technique is great, but it does have its limitations. You cannot use this technique to extract gums or resins or any plant that has a lot of mucilage. It's slimy. You also cannot use fresh plant material. It has to be dried. Now I'm making a California poppy tincture. And yes, it's in the same family as the opium poppy, but it's not narcotic. However, it does ease anxiety, nervousness, insomnia, and it's a great pain reliever. So it's going to work perfectly in my medicine cabinet or apothecary. But first, we're going to need a percolation cone. Now, you can buy these online, like on Etsy and other websites. However, they can be a bit pricey. So I opted to make my own using a bottle cutter and a glass bottle. So join me as I share with you the tale of 2 bottles. Once upon a time, our heroine, following the bottle cutting directions, deeply etched her bottle. As directed, she alternated boiling water with ice water until, like magic, the bottle separated cleanly. But alas, it wasn't clean enough. It had cracks, and that just wouldn't do. So she tried again with the second bottle. And voila, it worked. As she whistled while she worked sanding the bottle rim, she realized the moral of the story is practice makes perfect. This is my beautiful percolation cone. This is where I'll be putting in the dried herb and vodka. Now I've wrapped a rubber band around it so it fits snugly in the larger jar. I've used cotton balls as a filter in the bottleneck. And the cap will regulate how fast or slow the tincture drips into the jar. Okay, we're ready now. Let's get started. Now here's the formula for the 1:5 ratio tincture. Now since I'm making this for just me and my family, I'm making a small batch. So I'm using 1 ounce of dried herb, and in this case it's California poppy, to 5 fluid ounces of 100 proof vodka. For a larger batch, you could make, let's say, 100 ounces of dried herb to 500 fluid ounces of vodka. That's still the same 1:5 ratio. Plus, I'll need a bit extra to moisten the herb in order to maintain its 1:5 ratio. Now there's a formula for it, but if you're not selling your tinctures, then you don't really need to be that precise. But you'll see as we go along. First, I prepare my herbs by weighing them And as I said before, it doesn't have to be exact. Now I grind them to a coarsely ground powder. Before I start the percolation process, I need to pre-moisten the herbs with about 3/4 ounce of vodka, more or less, so that when I add the full amount of 5 fluid ounces of vodka, it isn't totally absorbed. The idea is to add it slowly and mix until the herbs clump together like damp beach sand. Now, if you add too much, you'll just have to add more herbs until you get it to the right consistency. Cover and set aside for 1 to 12 hours. While I'm waiting, I grab a coffee filter and using the percolation cone, I cut a circle. I'll be using that shortly. Finally, it's time to add the herbs to the percolation cone, but I make sure the cap is loosened first. Now it's important not to just dump it in all at once. It should be added in thirds. Add in 1/3, then tamp it down. Not too hard so the vodka can't pass through, and not too loose so it won't flow evenly through the herbs. It needs to be just right. Then another third, tamp it down. And then add the remaining amount and tamp it down. Remember that cut coffee filter? Well, I place it on top with some weights so that when I add the alcohol, the herbs don't all float to the top. They actually stay in place. I slowly add the alcohol and check to see if it's flowing evenly through the herbs and the cotton ball filter. Once I'm satisfied and I see a few drips, I close the cap tightly and I let this sit for 24 hours. When ready, I slightly loosen the cap to allow a very slow and steady drip, about 3 to 5 seconds apart. I let this go until all the alcohol percolates through and the dripping stops. Now, just decant it. I like using amber bottles so that the sunlight doesn't degrade it. And then I label it. And there you have it, a potent California poppy tincture in only 2 days. Now for the dosage for this tincture, it's 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon tincture mixed in about 2 ounces of water or chamomile tea. Well, I hope you like this video and are now inspired to try your hand at making a percolation extract of your choice. It's really not that hard, huh? If you do, let me know how it goes in the comments section, because I would love to hear from you. Okay, you have a good one, and I'll see you on the next adventure.